Hi everyone, and welcome to today's session of BIMCO Bytes on Forma. Forma is a web-based tool that's designed to evaluate site potential. It enables users to conduct massing and site studies utilizing real-world data and positioning. Additionally, it facilitates quick high-level analysis of various factors such as area, shadow, wind patterns, and more. Today, we're going to learn how to start up a Forma project. We'll first look at how to access Forma. We'll select a hub to work within. We'll take a tour of the hub navigation panel. Then we'll cover the process of how to start a project. And this will involve how to define a site. And we'll walk through the process of adding site data. Now, because Forma is a web-based program, you need to access it from a web browser. When you're accessing it from for the first time, though, the best way to do it is to go log into your Autodesk account and click on All Products and Services and do a search for Forma. And you'll see here there's a button that says Access. So when you click on Access, you will get into Forma, your Forma space here. You can see I've got a number of projects here, although there'll be a number of demo projects which you can have a look at as well. Now, next, let's talk about hubs. So projects in Forma are organized into hubs. So when starting a new project in Forma, the first thing you need to do is select a hub to work within. In order to find out what hubs you have access to, you can click on this drop-down menu here and click on Manage Hubs. Now, a hub is linked to your organization's admin account. So if you're in a large studio, you might only have one organization admin, so you will have one hub. However, you can be invited to work within other organizations' hubs. So it may be the case that you have access to multiple hubs. So when you start a project, we need to choose the hub that we're going to work within. And the reason why is because it's not actually possible at the moment to move projects in between hubs. So that's why we do that. Okay, next let's look at the hub navigation panel, which is this here. Obviously at the top here, we've got the hub selector, so I can quickly flip between hubs by using that drop-down menu. Next, there's the home button, which will just give you an overview of your space. Then the next tab here on, which is called projects, this will show all of the projects within your hub. But it will also show these folders here. So as you go through and make lots of different studies, you'll probably end up with a lot of different projects. It's very quick to create these types of projects. So you will probably need to have an organization structure. So to create folders to organize your projects in, you simply just go to this click button here and give this a name here, and then to drag projects into various different folders, it's really just a case of dragging it, and then that will organize it there. And if I click on my sort of mixed use, for example, I can see what all my mixed use typology projects are. Now, you don't need to go and create a hub for every single project, because within a project, all the data is stored within that, and you can create multiple iterations, which are called proposals from within that project. And we'll take a look at that in a second. Okay, so let's go back to our home screen now. The next tab on the hub navigation panel is the members settings. Now, this is the place where you go and invite members into your hub. And also this is where you go and set who has access to what particular project. So if I look at user 01 here, we can see down here that user 01 has access to all of these different projects. So if I want to control the access of that, I can revoke access or choose the level of access they have to that project. And then the next setting down here is just some hub settings where you can define how people get access to your hub and some defaults on what privileges and access they may have. Now, starting a new project. In order to do that, I'm going to go back to home. Here we go. Now to start a new project, we click the new project button here. And the first thing we've got to do is type in the address of the project site. Now I've selected a fictional site at 183 Pelham Street in Carlton, Melbourne. So I'm going to type that in here. There we go, and it's registered it. And that will pop down into that site here, and we'll see this screen here. Now, the next thing we want to do is decide the extent of the surroundings that we're going to analyze. Now, at the bottom here, you'll notice there's a confirm map area button, and this will, when it's highlighted like this indicates that the project is either big enough or small enough to be able to generate a study. If, for example, I were to zoom right out, the button disappears, and that's because we're looking at too much of a big space, and that there's going to be too much data that Forma has to analyze, and it can't handle it. And similarly, if we zoom too far in, you'll notice that the confirm map area button is grayed out there. We're saying the area is too small to run certain analyses, because when we, for our shadows and wind, for example, it's only going to run that in the extents there. So depending on how you might analyze or need to analyze the project in the future, so if you're doing a tower, you may need to grab some extra space to account for shadows. Anyway, I'm going to just click into a hopefully reasonable amount of area, so it doesn't take too long, and I'm going to click confirm map area. Okay. Now, once we've confirmed our map area, Forma will look around on the web to find out what data sets are available relating to this site. And we now need to decide what data we want to import into our project. So in order to do that, we can click on this data set here, and if we click on it, it'll give us a little narrative of what the data set is. This is the sort of building massings at LOD 100 from OpenStreetMap. So that's a good one to have. So I'm going to order that data, and what that will do is that will now place it into my project, so I can place that later. So let's go order that one. And moving back, we probably want to grab some terrain. So we'll grab the Geoscience Australia terrain. And we want to make sure we get some roads too. So let's grab the OpenStreetMap roads. Okay, so that's a quick way of getting going with some some site data that's geolocated when you don't have anything else to go on. There is also an option to import custom data if you have something specific, maybe from a surveyor. We will cover this section in a later session. Okay, so once we've ordered our data, we just click this cross option to move into what's called the site design panel. And you can see here, this has already placed the terrain in here. Now this in the site design panel, we've got a number of navigation panels here. We've got our proposals window. We've got layers that will gradually get populated. So each amount of data or buildings or things that we place in the project will go into the layers tab, and then we can easily switch those off and on. And then we also have some modeling tools like placing buildings and roads and trees and things here. And then far over on the right here, we've got the analysis data, and this will begin to start generating things like area metrics and other calculations as we start importing data in. Now let's go and do that now. In order to get started with your first amount of data, we need to go up here onto this little book icon, and this is the library or the data library, and you'll see this has the data sets in it that we clicked on before. So let's get going by, let's just start off here by adding our buildings. Okay, and now we'll click on that. Okay. When you see a screen like this, or a data set like this, it's saying that we have a certain number of geometries that that are picked up in the data set, and it's asking us if we want to add them all. Now, when we're adding our data, we might not really need some of these peripheral ones here. Or we also, in this particular case, this is the site here, we may not want to actually just include the existing building that's there. So in order to select the data that's coming, that you want to import in, you can sort of right click on here, and then by hitting by selecting various different buildings, you can just select which ones you want to select. So I'm gonna import most of the data here, but by hitting the Shift key, I can decide to remove these little bits here. Maybe let's just leave that. We might remove that one a bit as well. Okay, and then once we've selected the building data that we want to add, we can click Add, and that's popped it in there. Now, so once we've got this site set up here, we can get going on modeling our project. But before we do, let's just take a quick look back at our navigation panel here, and we can see here we've got our first proposal, which is called Proposal 1. Now, in order to create different variations of this, we may want to go through here and click on our little 3 dots here and duplicate this plan here and give this another name here. And that will allow us to take the same site data, but then potentially draw some different buildings on there. And also down here, once we're starting to populate buildings, we can use the Layers tab to switch off terrain or to even switch off the buildings